Welcome back to A Game of Fangs and Thrones. My name's Hannah, and this is a weekly reading vlog. And I am actually intending to take it from Monday to Sunday this week. So keep your fingers crossed that I keep up with that this week. If you saw last week's vlog, and I have no idea how and why it ended up as long as it did, you'll know that I was just about to finish this Golden Flame. I did say in the vlog that I thought it might be a 5-star. Unfortunately, when I ran it through Corpel, it only came out as a 4, which is fine. It's still a good book. It's an excellent debut. My current read is The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. Okay, this is just a dust jacket, but I do have the actual copy, and this follows Akara, who lives in a futuristic world. It's quite dystopian, apocalyptic-esque, where they have discovered alternate realities, and they've discovered 380 of them, and Akara is dead in all but 8, which means she is a prime candidate for what they call traversing. Now, these are the people that can travel between these multiverses, these universes, realities, whatever you want to call them. However, you can only go to an alternative reality if you're already dead in that reality. So say you were in Earth 0, which was what they class as real, the first one, and you wanted to travel to Earth 10. Your Earth 10 counterpart must be dead before you can travel to Earth 10 from Earth 0, and so on. So Kara is in a unique position where she can travel to 372, and so far she's the only person that can travel to that many alternate realities. However, she begins to suspect that something is not quite right. Because one of the doppelgangers dies under mysterious circumstances, and she's pulled into a new world with an old secret. And what I like about this is there is the thriller aspect of what's going on with these mysterious circumstances, but it's also a story of family, of loss, and it is very self-contained to this one area called the Rurals, which is where Kara grew up. And Kara herself is hiding a bit of a secret, and I am sorry if you can see the mess up there. I do need to sort that. But I started it last night after this Golden Flame, but I'd already ended the vlog and I couldn't. And I like starting a vlog on a new book even if I am halfway through. But I'm on page 110. I did have to stop in the middle of a chapter because I have been reading at work again. Got to stop doing that. But that is that, and that does mark, and this Golden Flame marked the end of the official TBR for the video. So I've read 9 books, so that's quite good for me. This week and possibly next week are going to be busy in terms of filming, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm hopefully going to America for my summer holidays in July, so through the end of July to the first week of August. And I do want to give you content, but obviously I'm not going to be able to vlog for those 2 weeks because it is a family holiday. And I don't really want to feel, and I want to enjoy myself and not be like, oh, let's vlog this, let's get the camera out, and miss moments. But saying that, I might get a bit on my phone and just stick it on Instagram. My Instagram handle is at a game of Fangs and Thrones, just like my YouTube channel. So check that out if you want. Well, like I say, this isn't until I think we're due to fly on the 23rd of July, I want to say. It's the day of the English school holidays, if that helps anyone. We fly on that day. We're travelling down to Manchester on the Thursday night beforehand. Hopefully, fingers crossed, semi-positive energy. I think that's all I need to tell you so far. So tonight's plans, because I think I still have a decent bit of light, I might film some of those videos I was talking about. I have 2 that I need to film and get out for July before I go away, and then there's a couple that I want to film so I can schedule them and not have to worry about them. So I think I might do that tonight and then just read, because it is only like 6 o'clock. So I'll see you if I finish the Space Between Worlds, or if anything interesting happens and I want to tell you about it. Welcome back to a game of Fangs and Thrones. My name's Hannah and this is the mid-year freakout tag. So I have my notebook with my questions on here, and we're just going to adjust the camera and jump right in. So first question, best book you've read so far in 2021? It's got to be The Boy, never get this right, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy. I rated that 5 stars. I think I've got it in a vlog where I'm reading that in real time and I nearly burst out crying. It is so beautiful and just so simple, and it's just a very good read that we all could do with hearing, especially with the full of little advice and sayings that we could all do with, especially after the year that was 2020 and going into 2021. So it's just some light-hearted sayings, and I related so much to the anxiety-ridden and depression. I don't know, I don't want to put labels on it, but the horse. I related so much to the horse in that book. Best sequel has to be either Tower of Dawn by Sarah J Maas, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the Throne of Glass series. That one follows Chaol and what's her name? Nesrin, and it follows them. It's a story. It's more of a story of recovery, and it is set up for Kingdom of Ash, which I've yet to read. But by the time you're watching this, maybe I've started that. Or it would have to be Dark Tides by Philippa Gregory, which is the sequel to Tidelands. Now with Dark Tides, it's a direct sequel, but it is set about 20 years after the original. So the characters have grown, and the events of the first book have left their mark, and old wounds have festered, and new secrets are coming to light. I also really enjoyed not Empire of... the sequel to City of Brass, what's that one called? Oh come on, you've just read it. You read it not that long ago, woman. It'll come to me. But yeah, I like that one as well. New release you haven't read yet but want to. How long have you got? There's pretty much every book that I get from Fairy Loot, Illumicrate and Bookbox Club that I want to read. Top of that list, I would say, is this gorgeous edition of Witches Steeped in Gold by Shannon Smart. That is inspired by Jamaican folklore and follows witches who are... I'm destroying my TBR card here. But it follows witches who are from opposite ends of the spectrum. One is the princess, one is a prisoner, I believe, and they join forces. We also have a Chain of Iron. I know this is a slightly older release, but that's another one I want to get to. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year, probably the sequel to Kingdom of the Wicked by... why am I no good with names? Kerry Maniscalco. I think that's called Kingdom of the Cursed. There's that one. Can I say the third book in the Last Hours series by Cassandra Clare? Has that been announced? But that one, and Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. biggest disappointment? I would probably say it was Fable, because I just didn't get on by Adrian Young. I didn't get on with that one. Did I? When did I rank? Did I do Wayward Son this year? Yes. And Wayward Son, I pushed myself through that book and nearly ended up in a slump. Biggest surprise? My middle grade. I'm really into. I've recently fallen in love with middle grade books. They're so quick to read, they're fun, but they do deal with some quite dark topics at times. I think the most recent one I've read was A Castle of Tangled Magic. And that one got me back into it. I also read The Ice Dragon by George R.R. Martin. That got 5 out of 5 stars. It's such a beautifully illustrated book, and it tells such a lovely story that is referenced in the main books, but it is suitable for children. It is like a little winter's tale bedtime story, I would say. Get kids into dragons early. Biggest surprise, we've done that one. Favourite new author, debut or new to you? I think it would be either Kerri Maniscalco, because I absolutely adored her writing. I would say Angie Thomas, but I read The Hate U Give a while ago, so it's not really a new to me author, and she's not a debut anymore. I did enjoy All Our Hidden Gifts by Caroline O'Donoghue. I'm going to be looking out for stuff from her. I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head. Newest fictional crush. I don't really do fictional crushes, but there are a few characters that I do really enjoy reading from and just want to protect. I think the guy in The Bright and the Pale is one of them, and there's another one as well. Oh, Rags and Shine and Talon from A Master of One. They are just so sweet and cute, and I just want to wrap them up in bubble wrap and protect them. Newest favourite character, Rags from Master of One. He is ingenious, he's funny, he's a little bit sarcastic. I also like Terrain from Unbroken for the exact same reason. And I like... And Maeve from All Our Hidden Gifts is just incredible, and Ro as well from that book. Books that made you cry. I'm not really a book crier, but The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse came close to getting that emotion, and so did All Our Hidden Gifts. A book that made you happy. Can I say The Boy, the Fox? Can I say the Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse again? Because yes, it did make me sad, but it made me happy at the same time. And I also really enjoyed reading The Outlaws by Scarlet and Brown by Jonathan Stroud. That was that was my kind of humour, that little bit dry, maybe a little bit dark, a bit inappropriate at times. British. And I know I haven't read it yet, but it will be a book that I read in December, so does that count? And that's The Hogfather by Terry Pratchett. That book never fails to make me happy, but I haven't read it yet, so it probably doesn't count. Most beautiful book bought received this year. It's got to be Witches Steeped in Gold by Shannon Smart. This is the Fairy Loot edition. It has this gorgeous geometric sprayed edges, a very old antique looking dust jacket, and we have an exclusive end paper there which fits the whole theme, and then underneath is just as pretty. It just matches. And to be honest, I think all the Fairy Loot foiled editions are absolutely gorgeous, but some of them I didn't get this year. Some of them I got them last year, and I can never remember which month which book I got in which month. I can tell you which year I got them in, mostly, but I wouldn't put any stock by that. Books do you want to read by the end of the year? My favourite Loot editions that I've had for a while. I do have a priority list in the back of my bullet journal, so we'll quickly run through that. Please don't at me or cancel me or what. But I want to finish out the Throne of Glass series, finish out the Folk of the Air series, finish out Wicked series, Goddess Summoning, finish Game of Thrones, catch up with Game of Thrones and Shadowhunters. Basically, I have a bad habit of starting series and not finishing them, so I have my list here. I also want to try and keep on track with the subscription books I get, because they are quite new releases, and I'm trying not to be so intimidated by hyped or new release books. I want to read The Binding and the Betrayals by Bridget Collins, because those books are absolutely stunning. And favourite book to movie adaptation you've seen this year? There are quite a few, and I'm more of a book to TV than book to movie, so just bear that in mind. But I've just finished watching Sweet Tooth. Now that was a graphic novel, and admittedly I haven't read the graphic novel, but I'm enjoying that. I did enjoy that. I can't speak for how authentic and true to the original source material it is. And I have to say Shadow and Bone, because the way that they incorporate both storylines between the original Grishaverse, which is Shadow and Bone, Rune and Rising, and Siege and Storm, and the Six of Crows Crooked Kingdom duology, was beautiful. It was so well done, it wove together perfectly, and Ben Barnes is the Darkling, come on. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Let me know your answers to some of those questions below, and if you do have any adaptations that you think I'll enjoy, leave them down below. I have most streaming services and have access to a lot more through Sean, my boyfriend, because he has Prime, I don't. And if there's any authors that you think I would enjoy based on what you've seen of my shelves and what you've heard me talk about, drop them in the comments below. I'm always looking to find new fantasy authors, dip my toe into other genres, but just know that fantasy and sci-fi, I'm getting there with sci-fi, are my go-to. So that's the end of this video. Hit that like button if you liked it, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see this, talk about these, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! So it's Tuesday night. It is a bit of a late update because, as you can probably tell by these, I have been to the gym this afternoon. I'm still sound a bit out of breath, but you know, we'll deal with it. Went back to the gym. I've started Couch to 5k. I did my first run of the first week. Oh, I forgot how much I hate running, but you know, we'll get there. And if you ever see me drinking this or drinking anything, don't worry, I'm doing Slim Fast, so that's probably why I've got a bottle of something in my hand a lot of the time. So, book update. I finished The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. I think I told you what this was about yesterday, but probably. But basically this is the story of Kara, who lives in a world where the multiverse has been unlocked, but the catch is to enter the multiverse, to enter an alternate reality, you have to be dead in that reality. There's been 380 realities unlocked. Kara is dead in all but 8. A new world becomes available to her once her doppelganger dies in mysterious circumstances, and Kara is plunged into that mystery that world, for want of a better word. But this is a beautiful story. Is it? Can I say beautiful when it involves murder? An attempted murder and suicide, and well, not suicide, but trauma, lots of trauma. Kara and her doppelgangers experience a lot of trauma through parental neglect, prostitution, drug abuse. So it's all in here. This book really packed a punch for it being only 323 pages long. It packs a punch into those pages. I gave this a 4-star. As usual, my full thoughts and feelings and review will be in the wrap-up, which I'm hoping to film on Saturday, so you won't have too long to wait. But this guy got a 4 stars. There were a few instances with the writing that did make me a little bit confused at times. I wasn't sure which characters we were dealing with in which world. But it was and there was something about the bad guy that where I understood where he was coming from. I would have liked him to be built up a little bit more, but it was a solid 4-star, solid debut as well, I believe. And this cover is stunning. I think I like this cover better than the original, which I haven't seen. I think it's the American edition. But anyway, I like this cover better. I think I'm biased because purple is my favourite colour. And in case I didn't mention it, this is an Illumicrate edition. So my next book, book 11, I'm doing well this month. Don't know why it took so long to... Hang on. We'll do one thing at a time, Hannah. Get the book in the shelf first, then talk. Book 11 of the month, and we still have, it's Tuesday now, so we near enough have a full week left because the end of the month is a Wednesday. Oh, payday on Friday, yay. So I don't know why I've put off reading some of these because I am actually enjoying myself. Next we have this Naked Bad Boy, which gives me such what's going on? It gives me such Disney villain vibes. I think it's because it's purple and green, but it works. I haven't started this yet, but it is Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell. Here is the dust jacket. This is an Orbit one, so it is an adult book, and this one was from Illumicrate. So we'll quickly read the synopsis, remind myself of what it is about. Duty, politics, space princes and rebellious royals. The Iskat Empire dominates its vassal planets through a system of treaties, so when Prince Tam, a key figure in a political alliance, is killed, a replacement must be found. His widower, Janan, is rushed into an arranged marriage with the disreputable aristocrat Kiem in a bid to keep rising hostilities between two worlds under control. But Prince Tam's death may not have been an accident, and when Janan himself is a suspect, he and Kiem must learn to trust one another as they navigate the perils of the Iskat court, try to solve a murder and prevent an interplanetary war. Okay, so this is a debut as well. A space opera with high-stakes multi-world politics and irresistibly engaging characters. Perfect for fans of Gideon the Ninth, which I have read and enjoyed. I've also read the sequel Harrow the Ninth and enjoyed that just as much. A little bit confusing though. And The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, which I haven't read, but from what I've heard I think that might be up my alley as well. And so Everina Maxwell is Yorkshire. She's not that far. It's not that far from me. About an hour on the train, maybe a little bit less. But yeah, so we'll see what we think about this one. I just love this cover. Oh, and the bookmark I'm using is from the book box club that I unboxed in last week's vlog. and it is perfect for Pride Month because it is a rainbow. And I believe this book, well, we've read the synopsis, there is at least a arranged male-male marriage, which seems to be two, at least arranged. Hopefully they develop feelings or at least a mutual acceptance of each other. And this one, once we get past the neon edges, which I absolutely adore, it is, nope, that is the acknowledgements, 420, and it is adult, so it might take me a while to read, but you never know, we might surprise ourselves. Get a quick drink. And while I think of what to tell you next, I think that's everything for this update. Oh, I needed that. Cherry Pepsi Max. Top tier. But so plans, obviously, for tonight. I'm babbling now, but plans for tonight. Start Winter's Orbit, wherever I've put it. I started watching Olivia Reads a Latte's new vlog while I was waiting for the bus because I couldn't be bothered to walk home. So I'll finish that. I know Jade from JD Rereads has put up a new vlog in her Reading Like series, and I believe this one is How to Train Your Gavin. And Becca from Becca in the Books has popped her weekly vlog up as well. So that's my plans for this evening. And oh, I must have my tea as well, my liquid tea. And I have a snack for later. If anybody wants to know, I'm doing this weight loss for me. I just want to be a little bit healthier, and I think that SlimFast is the way to go because my mum's previously done it and found it successful, and I have had success with it in the past. I just fell off the wagon. And I will try to give trigger warnings if I am going to be talking about my personal weight loss journey. But yeah, I think that's it for now, and I'll see you when something interesting happens, maybe when I get 100 pages into the book to see how I feel about it, or tomorrow. Let's just be honest, it'll be tomorrow. So it's Wednesday. I weighed myself earlier, and I am in this next part going to be talking about weight loss and numbers. So I'll hold if you are triggered by weight loss, because I don't want anybody to be offended or upset or set anybody else on or anybody back in recovery or anything like that. So I will be holding my bottle, my milkshake, up for the entirety that I'm talking about the numbers. But I weighed myself, and it could just be my imagination, but I do think I've got more energy. I mean, I went to the gym for the first time in who knows how long last night. I am feeling it in my hip a little bit, but that could just be general unfitness plus my joint hypermobility syndrome plus my dyspraxia, which has its own physical manifestations: poor upper body strength, poor hand-eye coordination, poor coordination in general, poor hand dominance, and there's something else as well. But yeah, that could be playing a part as well as the joint hypermobility. So, but anyway, so this is up. So if anybody is still watching, I lost 2 pounds in 1 week. I am nowhere near where I want to be, but that's where I am so far. And I mean, it could just be my imagination, but I do feel like I've got more energy. I think I said that. Yeah. So, like I say, it's Wednesday. I have to have my meal, and I have a snack for later. I'll just stay up here all night. I did prep a video. Well, I prepped the books I want to talk about in that video, and they are just here. Can you see? apologies for the mess. This is my TBR video, which you will see on Friday, so Friday just gone. This is a video for July, because I am still operating under the assumption that I am going to America, which means lots of pre-filming, and I'll be filming that on Saturday as well as my wrap up. And speaking of wrap up, I got to, I think it was about page 110 last night, and by that time it was too late to vlog of, and that was obviously of Winter's Orbit by Verena Maxwell. We have the Windows jacket here. This is an adult fantasy with, no it's not, it's a sci-fi, it's space opera, following Jaynen, who is a count, and Prince Kiem. Kiem is the Space Emperor's grandson, so he's technically a royal even if he doesn't have it much in the way of royal power or influence, so that's that. The relationship between the two is very sweet so far. It seems very organic. They are learning to cooperate with each other. They're learning how each other, how everybody thinks, which is quite nice in an arranged marriage. So they both know what they're getting into. Jaynen was married before to Prince Tam, who was Kiem's cousin. So Jaynen's been all that. He knows what to expect, but he is grieving, and Kiem is acutely aware of that fact, and is dealing with his own sense of attraction, while still trying to be sympathetic to Jaynen and what Jaynen is going through. But yeah, that's the gist of that. With it being 110 pages, I'm not sure what I can tell you without being a spoiler. But so far, we have met Jaynen, we have met Kiem, we've had a bit of world building. What I like about this one is that the Iskat, I should just keep this here for names because we know I'm terrible. Yeah, the Iskat Empire has a very cool way of identifying gender. If you identify as a female, you wear flint or slate somewhere on your person. If you identify as male, it is wood. And if you are non-binary or agender or outside of those main two, I'm trying to be sympathetic while trying to remember what I've read. So if you are non-binary, you wear glass or nothing. No identifier, I should say, rather than nothing. You still wear clothes, and that is a really interesting way of looking at it. Whereas Jaynen's clan, why am I so terrible at this? It doesn't have it in the synopsis. But Jaynen's clan have a different way of identifying gender, and I believe it is something to do with how they tie their clan scarves. Iskat seems to be very maniacal. No, it's not maniacal. Monarchical. In the sense that they have the emperor, and royalty seems to be blood-based, and it seems to be a royal family type thing. Whereas Jaynen's clan, and I'm sure it's something with an F, but Jaynen's home planet is more clan-based, and Jaynen's clan is very high up, and they rule that part of it. I am absolutely loving it so far. Within like the first couple of chapters we had a steamy scene, which didn't go very far, but you know, progress. It shows attraction between these two men, and they are wanting to make the marriage work, even if one of them is grieving and Kiem, the other, isn't sure how to proceed because he doesn't want to overstep. The personalities between Kiem and Jaynen are spot on, and they are complete opposites of each other, and this is definitely an opposites attract kind of story. Jaynen is very quiet, very not standoffish, but he's closed and reserved and modest, whereas Kiem is a little bit more outgoing. He can sort of overbear a conversation a little bit, but Jaynen, at the point where I left off, was starting to relax a bit and was actually enjoying the stream of consciousness that Kiam comes up with. So in terms of plot, like I say, we've met the main key players. We know that Prince Tam, who is Janen's dead husband, widower? No, Janen's previous husband, who was died in an, they call it a flybug, but I think it's like a spacecraft flight thing. He died in one of those, but it's come to light that may be more than what it seems. It may not have been an accident, and someone may have been after the prince. And Janen has been invited to the Iskatan Empire's university, because he has a background in deep space engineering, I think it is. He has a doctorate. He hasn't really had much in the way of study and whatnot because of his relationship with Tam. I'm a little bit hesitant to comment on Tam and Janen's previous relationship, because to me it felt a little bit paranoia and a bit toxic. Janen is constantly asking Kiam for permission to do things, and he's constantly thinking how that would affect Kiam. And where was I? Oh yes, Kiam and Janen, their relationship is starting off in a very organic way, but there's something about the way that Janen reflects on his relationship with Tam that makes me think it's a little bit toxic. Like maybe Tam was controlling him. I mean, they have these wristbands that are a bit like a mobile phone, and Janen's only worked when it was linked to Tam's account. So, and obviously Kiam doesn't want Janen to be without that contact, because it's all these messages, it's everything. Their whole lives are on these wristbands. So Kiam wants Janen up and running because he doesn't want him to be missing out on anything. But in doing so, it has given Kiam complete access to Janen's digital presence, let's just call it. And understandably, he feels a little bit uncomfortable about seeing everything, whereas Janen just doesn't really care. But it just seems a little bit invasion of privacy, maybe controlling behaviour. I don't know, like I say, I'm only 100 odd pages in, but that's the plan for tonight. And in terms of booktube viewing, because we all know while I'm reading over there, I have booktube on over there, and I put vlogs on. So Jessie from Bowties and Books has popped up the Queer Blackathon vlog, and Regan from Peruse Project has uploaded a 24-hour readathon and an unhaul vlog. So that's what I'm going to be doing for tonight, and if I remember, I'll get some B-roll of me reading, but you know, it's not going to be anything exciting. I'll see you in the next bit. So it's a Friday, we've made it to the end of the week, near enough, and I have good news-ish, bad news, and just news. Okay, so news. I found out today that I am just taking my boots off as well as I speak. So I found out today that they are the powers that be, management, are planning for us to be back in the office in August. So I've got no idea what's going to happen to these weekly vlogs, if I'm going to continue with them or not, but we'll just see what happens, because I am enjoying them. But that's August, we don't need to think about that just yet. So that's news. The good news is I'm nearly finished winter's orbit, and things are really hotting up now, in terms of the relationship between Jayden and Kiem, as well as the murder mystery element of it. We are getting closer to who and why Tam was killed. So we're getting a bit more of who did it and why they did it. And Kiem and Jayden have had their first proper night together. Granted, it was in a tent and it was more to stave off hypothermia, but it still counts. And it was rather fade to black, which was a bit annoying, but fit for the story. It was a rather extreme close-up, so I'm quite enjoying that still, and I'm probably going to finish it tonight because I'm on page 305, well 304, which is chapter 23, and this book is 420 pages long, so I should be able to finish it tonight since I don't have anything else to do, which is quite sad on a Friday night when you think about it, but it's good for us booktubers, for us book readers and booktubers and little introverted hearts, those of us with introverted hearts. And then the bad news, which is very fitting considering my TBR went up today. Bad news is my holiday to America got cancelled. Well, the flight got cancelled, so unfortunately we've had to cancel the hotel, the Disney booking, that kind of thing. But it is what it is. But it does mean that I am actually now able to complete the whole month of my readathon, sequelathon, which actually works out better, to be honest, doesn't it? My readathon, and it's the first one, and I'm cutting out like a week, and I'm cutting a week out, but that's a non-issue now, and I am keeping my days off that I had booked, so maybe there'll be some more footage of the vlogs for those 2 weeks, and it does mean that I can go easy on filming in July, because the videos that I had managed to pre-film for Monday or Friday that I wasn't going to be around to vlog or do another video. What are words, Hannah? Come on. But the videos, the 3 videos that I did manage to pre-film can just be rearranged a little bit so I can take it easy with filming. And in terms of videos for July, I only have my wrap-up, haul, wrap-up and TBR to film. And this month, and August's TBR is very exciting because I think I mentioned it in a previous vlog, but I'd made my own TBR game. So we get to see that, and I can actually think about how I want to do it properly. So yeah, I think that's it for this update. And in terms of how I'm feeling about going back to work, I'm coming around to the idea. I've had like a year and a half of working from home, and you kind of get used to that. But it is what it is. You've just got to get on with things. And I think I am going to continue this vlog over the weekend, because I am going to watch my sister play rugby on Sunday, and I might get some footage of that. Yeah, I'll leave this update here because I've run out of things to say and I feel like I'm repeating myself, and I'm going to go read. Well, I'll put the books I pulled back for a video back, and then I'll go read. Double update, so we know what that means. I finished it, and I loved it, and I loved it more than I thought I would, because there was a point in the middle, and this usually happens to me anyway, there was a point in the middle where the plot slowed down, but I enjoyed the fact that the plot was slowing down because it gave Jayden and Kiem a chance to focus on their relationship and get to understand each other a bit more. And it did drop my intrigue in the main murder mystery plot line, but I was more interested in the relationship side of things, so that one got a 9.5 because it's hard to rate it because I was still intrigued about this relationship. Where is it going to go? Blah blah blah. And something I mentioned at the start of reading this book about Jayden, where I thought, now I don't think this is a spoiler as such, because it is a trigger for some people, and I think it's important to know. But what I thought about Jayden was correct, and we do see instances of that in flashback between Jayden and his deceased husband Tam. So if you are sensitive to domestic abuse, partner abuse, manipulation, that kind of nasty, just be aware of that going in. Now, Kiem is a cinnamon roll. He's sweet and not like that at all, but he does struggle to understand why Jayden can't come forward and admit it. So he's a little bit, I wouldn't say he's mean or abrupt about it, but he just doesn't understand why Jayden thinks it's all his fault, everything that happened to him, so just be aware of that. But did I tell you about the reptiles in this? We have mutated reptiles, and the birds in Iskat are some sort of reptile mix. There's a bear that looks more like a dinosaur with 6 legs, so that was quite an interesting take on the world building as well. And I've already mentioned about how each culture has their own take on how people display gender, which I thought was really well done and causes its own set of struggles that are managed realistically, I would say, from another culture looking in, and also from the way that some of the Theans, which is what Jayden is, and some of the other planets try to adapt to the Iskat gender conformity gender display when they are on that planet was quite interesting. We also have a bit of a revolution going on. This book has pretty much everything, and for it being a debut, the writing is perfect. For each character, we only follow Jayden and Kiem, but they have their distinct voice that matches the character. So Kiem is a lot more free-spirited. He's brash. He's outgoing. He just doesn't care. He has a bit of foot and mouth syndrome sometimes, and the writing for him reflects that. Whereas Jayden is a little bit more reserved. He's more closed. He finds it hard to let people in, which is understandable, knowing what he's gone through. But the writing reflects that. It's not stilted and hard to read, but it is a lot more formal and precise than Kiem's. But for a debut author to do that, I think some established authors struggle to get that distinction between two completely different characters, and the perspective switches a little bit in middle of chapters, which does bug me times, but with this one it didn't, because there was such a distinct voice difference. So that takes me to book 11 of the month. I will be filming my wrap up tomorrow, so I'm going to start Marion Lane and the Midnight Murder, I think, because it's short. In case I didn't mention it, Winter's Orbit was from Illumicrate. I can't remember when, because I'm terrible at that, but it was definitely an Illumicrate book. And Marion Lane and the Midnight Murder, which I'm going to start soon, well, after this clip, because it is only 9 o'clock on a Friday night. Marion Lane and the Midnight Murder is a book club box, and I don't think I will get it finished tonight, but I want to at least make a decent dent in it, and it'll just carry on for the weekend. And yeah, read this. Even if you're not a sci-fi fan, read it. It is, I would say it's high sci-fi in the sense that it is a space opera, but it's not overly sciencey that you need a degree to understand it. Like some sci-fi with all the technical, spacey, jargony terms. And even the spacey technical terms are explained because Kiem is not a technical person, which I think is nice. And I'm going to I'm babbling, so I'm going to leave this here, and I'll see you in the morning with the little outfit of the day, because I will be leaving the house for once. I kid, I leave the house most weekends. And I'll give you an update on Marion Lane, because I don't really feel, I think I'm just going to read for a bit and then probably go to sleep, because it is getting a bit late to vlog. So yeah, I'll see you in the morning with my thoughts. It's Saturday even, and this is the second time I'm filming this clip because I got 50 seconds in and realised I hadn't turned the microphone on. So we'll try again. So I've made my way to page 67, chapter 6 of Marion Lane and the Midnight Murder by T.A. Wilberg. This is the naked hardcover. This is a Book Box Club book, and is a debut by a South African born writer, but she now lives in Malta, but it is set in London, so it's a bit of a multicultural one, I would say. Just have to remember to pull this top up, otherwise you'll see everything. So set in 1958, which is a nice change of pace for myself. It's after the war, so London is getting itself back on track. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's the light or this top, but my hair looks brown. But anyway, so this follows Marion, who is our 23-year-old protagonist. She is a apprentice in the underground PI world, I want to say. And in the first chapter, we follow an unknown woman who is leaving a message for the Inquirers, who are this PI company, and she leaves her message. She thinks she's being followed, but she's not, and it has a very sinister air to it, like she knows more than she's letting on. But then the second half of that chapter is the murder of one of the Inquirer's own in the office, I'm going to say, because it's like underground and it's hidden. In the first chapter is pretty much that. We just know who has died, and we don't know how at that point, but I'm on chapter 6, so I don't think anything I'm saying now is a spoiler, but we've just been meeting the characters. We're getting a feel for everyone, and we know what the murder weapon was. It is a modified stethoscope that has a spy-like function in that it can hear through walls, and it's just a stethoscope but enhanced. But the murder victim was given a special one for her birthday because she keeps breaking them, and that was used to kill her. So that's the weekend read. I do like this top, even if it does make my hair look brown. So yeah, and just popping in to update you there. It's raining outside, so I couldn't wear the dress I wanted to wear. So I think that's it for this update. Just popping in to warm myself up because I want to film my wrap up for the month, which will be more like a wrap up of all the books I've read, obviously, plus a wrap up of the experience of reading purely subscription book boxes, which was actually quite fun. And I want to film my haul as well, and I have a lot of books to film, so I need to be warmed up. But that's it for now, and I'll probably put some footage of the weekend if I remember, and come back to you on Sunday. Where's the remote? Record, stop. So it's Sunday. You'll have seen in the clip before that I watched my sister play rugby. It was a tournament and I think her team came second, and I picked up a bargain as well on Saturday, but I'll get to that maybe. So yeah, it's now Sunday. I'm just popping in to close out this vlog. I got some more books. Can we see the bag, the damage? So, but I'll leave them for the haul because fingers crossed that's the only books I buy this month. Obviously, plus the 3 subscription boxes I get as well. But hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't buy anything else. I think that's all I have to update you on. Oh, and in terms of the book, I got to page 153, which is chapter 13, and this is only a 300-page book. So while I'm editing and waiting for things to upload, I will probably finish it and I will talk to you tomorrow about my thoughts and whatnot of that book. And I think that's it for this vlog. So if you liked it, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see this, talk about these, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.